Hello everyone, my name is Anita, I'm a native Russian speaker and I teach Russian to foreigners. And today I would like to speak with you about very common word «давай». If you learn Russian, probably you've heard this word at least once. In fact, it can be used in many different situations, in many different contexts with different meaning. And in fact, intonation really matters. Sometimes this word can be encouraging, but sometimes it may seem rude. So be careful and let's discuss all the functions. So first, let's discuss how to use this давай with verbs. So with verbs, this давай can be translated as let us. And you can use three different structures. So let's talk about, first of all, imperfective verbs. So imperfective verbs, that are the verbs which describe the process or repeated action. So the first structure is давай, let us, and the infinitive. For example, давай работать. Работать is to work. So давай работать is like let's work. But when we use such construction, so работать, it's imperfective, it's either about the process or repeated action. In this structure, we can use the infinitive, only of the imperfective verb. So, and it means that I want you and me to work right now. So I want us start working right now. So давай работать, let us start working. So it's not about the future or like repeat action in the future or exact moment in the future. It's just about right now. Давай работать, давай читать. So we can use infinitives only of the imperfective verb if we want to say, let us start doing something right now. Also, we can use imperfective verbs with a future. For example, давай будем работать, right? For imperfective verbs, we use a compound future tense. So it's the verb быть, to be, in the future tense, like я буду, ты будешь, and all other. Будет, будем, будут. Okay, you know. So давай будем работать. So you use давай, and then we form of будем работать. So it's just exactly like let us, right? We need this us. We don't say мы here, but we put it in будем, anything because like мы, but we don't pronounce мы. And here we are speaking about the future, right? Будем работать, but not like some specific moment of time, but just like the process, the repeat action in the future. Давай будем работать, probably it's like a long-term arrangement. So like you, I don't know, signed up some documents, so now we will work together for a long time. For example, like this. Or, for example, you can propose dating. Давай будем встречаться. Встречаться is to meet and also to date. So давай будем встречаться means that we will be dating in the future. So some process in the future. And the third structure is for perfective verbs. So previous two structures were for imperfective verbs and now for perfective verb. So these perfective verbs are about completed action. So you can use also мы form, for example, when we are speaking about some plans in a specific moment of time in the future. Давай пойдем в кино. Let us go to the cinema. So when you propose something, to go somewhere to do something at a specific moment of time, you use perfective verb because it will be completed in the future at a specific moment of time. And you usually use the prefix по. Давай пойдем. Right? Because по has many different meanings, but one of the meanings is like to initialize something. So давай пойдем в кино. Let us go to the cinema. You suggest to go something at a specific moment of time in the future. Only for perfective verbs. So I think that's all about давай and verbs. If you have any questions about these structures, please let me know in the comments. Also, давай can be used just like an encouragement. So, for example, давай, ты можешь, come on, you can do it. So, давай here works like come on, but in a good way, like encouraging. For example, you came to support your friend who is running marathon, and you're standing and you can scream like "Давай, ты можешь," like "Come on, you can." But it depends on the intonation. If you say like not like "Давай, давай, come on, like, you can do it," but like "Давай, давай," "Давай, давай," it's like come on. It's like a command to go, like go faster, "Давай быстрее." So in fact, it can be also quite rude. And it's usually quite rude when, for example, in some touristic places, foreigners know only a couple of words, and one of these words is "давай," and usually they are saying them quite in a rude way. So if some man would say to me like "давай, давай," I would like bye. I don't really want someone to say me in such manner, like come on. Right? But if it's like a command, if you want to make some command, you can use also "давай." For example, "Давай ешь," like come on, eat this. For example, you can say it, I don't know, for your child, but probably it's also quite rude, "Давай ешь." But here you should use "давай" and also the imperative form of the verb, if you want to use the verb. For example, "давай," you can use, for example, "давай рассказывай." So "давай рассказывай" is like go on, tell me something. It's just a soft command. For example, you're waiting for some gossip and you say "давай рассказывай." And рассказывай is like to tell a story or to narrate, and рассказывай it's imperative form. So in this command form, you need to use the imperative, right? "Давай, come on, go on," and the imperative form of the verb. Also, "давай" can be used like the first function of "давай" is in fact like it came from "давать." "Давать" is to give. So we have two verbs, "дать" it's perfective verb to give, and "давать" it's imperfective verb to give. So in fact, this "come on, let us" is from the verb to give. So give me something. So "давай" can be used right in this original form, in this original meaning. For example, "давай телефон," give me the phone. So give, "давай." Also, "давай," can be said as goodbye, but for me, it's usually people 40 plus saying like this. Or you can say it when you're speaking on your phone, for example. Okay, ладно, давай, пока. All right, bye. So it can be used as goodbye, but also I don't use it right now. But yes, you can hear it like, okay, all right, bye. Все, давай. But also, if a man would say to me, like when he is saying me goodbye, "давай," with this quite rude intonation, I would also like will be a little bit suspicious, and I won't like it. So probably it's not the best way to use it. In fact, because it's quite obsolete. Okay, people 30 plus, 40 plus use it. Okay, I'm almost 30, but I don't use it. Okay, you understood this. And also, the last function is when you suggest to do something by your own. So when you offer some help, for example, "Давай я помогу," let me help. So in English, it's like let me, like allow me to help. But in Russian, it's just "давай," and then the structure like "я помогу." So you can just say "я помогу тебе," I will help you. Or if you're offering, so with the offers you can use "давай я помогу." And in fact, it's quite polite, right? Because like if you want to help the person, but in fact the person doesn't want, yes, your help, probably you don't need to help him or her. So like "я помогу" can be wrong, but if you say can be rude. But if you say "давай я помогу," it's more polite because you're offering. You don't say like "I will help you," but like "let me help you," but not "давай мне," but "давай" and the structure "я помогу." Right? We need to agree "я" and "помогу." So I guess that was all that I wanted to tell you today. Pretty many functions, but I think you can get it with practice. So don't use this word too often if you're not sure about your intonation, because sometimes it can be rude. But in fact, it's quite a useful word to listen it and to understand when the person use this or this word in which context, and also you can use it by your own in some default situations, for example, like with verbs давай работать, давай поработаем, давай пойдем. Yes, because like when you want to suggest to go somewhere, it's very useful word. Yes, and yes, thank you very much for watching my video. If you don't want to miss my next videos, you can subscribe to my channel because I uploading videos almost every day, and I have Russian podcasts where I speak Russian slowly. I have Russian phonetic lessons, and I speak about Russian in foreign media, and also I discuss Russian grammar in English as this video. So, спасибо. It was Anita with you. Пока-пока. Bye-bye.